Now Keith, libraries in Westport.
Libraries in Westport. Well, there's nothing new about libraries in Westport. There was actually Carnegie Library provided the first books to the town for the public library, but there was a private reading room in what is now Toohey's Auctioneers. They were known as the reading rooms, and for a couple of pence you could go in there and you could read the books. But the idea of the Carnegie grants came around very early in the early 20th century. There was grants actually made to the council to establish Carnegie libraries, and Westport didn't have an actual proper branch library until 1975. This is the 40th anniversary this year.
As recent as this?
This month. We're 40 years in this building, but before here the library was in Fahey's on the Mall, shop in Fahey's on the Mall. Then it was in the town hall. The fireplace was added. There was a special grant to add a fireplace into the room. Then the town hall closed for renovations, and it was moved down to the bus stop, which was a private bus company at the time, allowed their facilities to be used for lending library. However, some of the bookshelves were broken into and library books were removed, so that closed down again. Then it was moved to the Order of Malta, and then there was a lot of discussion about acquiring a site, because it's the county councils who built libraries and provide them, not town councils. So there was a lot of hoo and ha. The town council putting pressure on the county council to come up with a library, but the suitability of the site was a big issue. And the county council were looking for a site around here, and eventually Westport Town Council actually provided the site free of charge, which was quite unusual. And it provided what I think it's a quarter of an acre, and we have a 3,000 square foot library on that. And that was built by McCormick's in Castlebar, were the contractors, and they were appointed I think 1974 or 1973, and the library was opened on the 1st of July 1975. So we've just passed our 40th anniversary here on this site, and as you can see we stock thousands of books, fiction, non-fiction. We have a large children's section. We now do DVDs, we do music CDs, we do downloadable audio books, and we provide free internet access to visitors and to members as well as Wi-Fi in the area. So the role of the library, from just being a lending library, is very much more diverse now, and we lend, as I said, multimedia items. Also, we've gone from 3 items to 5 items to 8 items, which shows you the amount of books and DVDs and music CDs that people are consuming now. We'd have about 2,500 to 3,000 members, and we're serving an area of maybe 20,000. Us and Louisburg Library would be serving a population of 20,000 people. So there's big pressure on to provide a new library, and I know that the council are examining that at the moment, but we have no news on when and where that might be. But
and do libraries have a future?
Oh, very much so.
With the internet now and
with the internet,
Wikipedia and all this stuff.
Into DVDs, music CDs,
Kindle.
Information Centre. We have a dedicated business library which was helped set up by the Chamber of Commerce, and that's proved very successful, especially in the last couple of years where a lot of people have decided whether they've lost their job or to starting up to try and start their own business. So we have a thriving business section. We also provide photocopying services and printing services. So a lot of smaller businesses and a lot of individuals use us to meet their office needs, and of course Ryanair. Everyone comes here to book their Ryanair flights and their Air Road Air tickets. So we're very busy. So definitely there's a future in libraries, and there always will be. We were told that we were going to be made irrelevant with Kindles, and we were told we were going to be made irrelevant with how cheap books we're getting and stuff like that, but it hasn't happened. I think there always will be a desire for a library, and from what I understand, the readership in Mayo and in general, the trend is on the upwards, and libraries are diversifying out into other areas, art exhibitions and bits and pieces like that. They're becoming, it's the emphasis on information, not books. They call them information services. They've called the new Dunleary libraries called the Nexus, and they're trying to get that image across to people. It's not just about books, it's about so many other different things.
You're the first librarian in full-time area?
I'm the first full-time branch librarian.
Branch librarian.
Branch librarians used to run this place beforehand, but they were never full-time. So it shows you the demand for the library. We have a staff of 3 here now. And,
but it seemed like the library was a bit weak in Westport prior to the building of this place. It didn't have a permanent home, and they were small.
Permanent home, and there was an appeal, I think, in the 40s for people to support the library, and in the 50s for people to support their library service lest they lose it, because at that stage Mayo County Council was one of the first local authorities in the country to use the the Libraries Act, which gave them the power to set up libraries. And in fairness, Mayo County Council was one of the first to take advantage of that. So they set up a branch in Castlebar, and then there was cry out for a branch in Ballina, and then smaller branches in Westport. We now have, I think it's 12 to 7, is it 17 branches? Some of them are very small and part-time, but we have branches in Achill, Kilkenny, Claremorris, Ballinrobe, Westport, Castlebar, Ballina, Belmullet. I hope I'm not forgetting anywhere. But we're quite widespread throughout the county, so you're no more than 10 miles away from the library in Mayo, and that's a big achievement considering the size of the county.
So were there no libraries under British rule much in the country?
No, there doesn't seem to be, no. There were Carnegie libraries, they were provided, but they were mainly in Dublin and Cork and in the larger cities.
But they would be 20th century stuff?
They would have been 20th century stuff.
And there was nothing in the 19th?
No.
The 1800s?
No. The private reading room was the only thing, but I don't think that really predated too much beyond that.
And who funded that time?
I believe it was private.
Yeah.
Privately.
Or privately.
That's why you paid.
You paid to read?
Yeah, you paid to read, yeah. It's known as the reading rooms, yeah.
That's very interesting, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's a big history.
So you're going to write it up, are you?
Well, we're working on it now. We're trying to put something together for the 40th anniversary to let people know. And it's no harm to publicise membership. Membership's only €5 for the year, €3 for students.
What's membership?
Membership, as I said, maybe 2,000 to 2,500. We'd have a couple of thousand people that pass in as customers, and we have membership is €5 for the whole year. That's up to 8 items. That includes DVDs, music CDs, internet access, Wi-Fi, downloading music. It's €3 for senior citizens and employed, and it's free for children up to the age of 18. So you won't get value like it anywhere else.
Do you have any losses?
Very few, very few.
Everything comes back. Most
comes back. Yeah, most people are very conscientious. Some of them might need a bit of a prod, but we definitely don't have any deliberate loss from here. And it's often people just to get into the habit of bringing things back in a 3-week cycle. People are used to bringing DVDs back quicker, but they're not so quick about bringing books back. But we try not to persecute people. We try to be understanding.
Do you get damage to books? Cups of tea and.
Very rarely, very rarely. The worst offenders are dogs. Dogs chew in the corners, and then second would be water. Any sort of damp at all destroys a book. You can't recover that. But we laminate them. We take the books in, we treat them with a laminate cover, and that laminate cover lasts forever. So provided the spine stays in, it's very hard to damage the book. So it's quite rare we get a damaged book. Even the children's books are very robust. They take a lot of abuse. So no, we're very lucky in that we're able to keep the stock current, and also there's a good budget for new books. We're never stuck for new books, and there's 4 reading clubs in town, and they all take advantage of it. So we're very busy, and of course we have events like tonight now, the Covey launch.
You launch a lot of things here, don't you?
Yeah, we have art exhibitions, poetry books, book launches, photo displays. So we're very busy all year round. There's no such thing as a quiet period anymore. It used to be the summer was quiet, but no, the last 5-6 years it's been very busy.
So there is some truth in the dog ate my homework excuse.
It's true when it comes to books, perhaps, yeah. I've never seen homework now, but yeah.